Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is April the 14th, 2026. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hopefully today was a good day for you. As for me, as for mine, I'm going to say it was pretty good. I definitely have some things on my mind. There's some problems in my mouth, but we're keeping on. We're carrying on. Most of the day was honestly, though, it was good. Just definitely woke up dreading, just the whole, wisdom tooth extraction bullshit issue. How am I going to go about handling it? The whole pain management, blah, blah, because I'm a big old little baby at the end of the day. But I kind of realized, okay, Isaiah, we can keep wallowing in this and keep being upset and letting ourselves be distracted, or we can be proactive. So I was like, all right, we're going to try to do the latter today. So at work, I went ahead and called my dental provider and, pretty much just asked to get the lowdown of what my potential path line is going to be for this. Because I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the other episode yesterday. That I've done this before, but it was just about 10 years ago. It was a whole other side of my mouth and, different insurance stuff. So this is my first time doing it, all by my lonely in that regard, so I'm trying to figure everything out. I at least feel like I have a good handle on it in terms of what's the options. And I think it's just a matter of getting the money together. Also, I don't think the money is going to be as much as I expected with my insurance, which I'm hopefully, 2 thumbs up there. But that being said, I still have to have more money than what I have currently. So yeah, going to have to wait a little bit, going to have to endure a little bit, hoping that, let's knock on wood for that. Because that was the other problem when I did my first wisdom tooth extraction, is it just took me so long to get everything together. And then I finally did, and I'm like, okay, cool. And, one of the bigger reliefs in my life. So I'm hoping that this is going to go easier than that time. We'll see. But that being said, we carried on through the day. Work was fine. I thought I was going to have to maybe go upstairs, but I didn't. Enough work to keep me where I wanted to be. Then post-work, I go to the gym, and I realize, I'm a dummy, and I didn't bring my gym bag. So I was like, okay, got to double back to the house. So I do a little quick reconnoiter there, hang out, and then I head back out to the gym. Now, for some reason, I don't know, blame it on the IG reels or something, I came in with a little bit of a different mentality for today, especially too because it was busy, so I couldn't get on a Smith machine, I couldn't get on free weights. So I was like, you know what we're going to try to do? I'm going to try to do some sets till failure. And I'm putting that in quotations because to me, I realize that I never really want to do any set till failure, especially when I'm in public. I'm sorry. I always hate the guys, who are pushing their shit so hard that by the time they're done, they got to drop the weights dramatically. Brother, this isn't Dragon Ball Z. Let's not do that. You're making a whole commotion. Technically, they should ring the lunk alarm for that. But, that being said, I get it. You're trying to get the best pump you can. Ain't no worries about it. But I also realized, trying it this way, I was like, damn, I am gassing myself out in a way that I just didn't expect. I'm over here on, some of the mechanical equipment that usually is just filler work for me. But I'm, pushing myself on, lighter weight, too. Just, and I say I'm pushing myself, but, like I said, I don't want to, gas myself out to being, just physically embarrassing. Plus, not to mention, then how am I going to do another set after that, right? It's hard for me to mentally wrap my head around it. So it usually winds up happening is I wind up saying I'm just doing my sets plus some extra, I'm going a little bit beyond my usual, which is usually 6 to 12 reps in a set. I will say it did feel good. It was nice to kind of feel gassed in that way. But that being said, is this my best workout? No. So, we made the best of what we had. Overall, solid workout. I would definitely maybe try that again. Maybe I'll do some more experimenting with stuff like that in the future. But yeah, overall, good workout for what it was. Then we came home, had our stretch, had our snack, did some research for today's episode, I guess, depending on when you're listening to this. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup and let's get into some news. So I guess, it's kind of becoming a little bit of a trend for me to kind of just pop up with some like Iran war news while we do our startup, which is kind of not the best way to do it, but I don't care. So the blockade that I kind of just mentioned in a previous episode is still ongoing. We're blockading a blockade. I love that for us. That's really smart. That's really sound. It's been, I'm going to put this in quotations, effective in turning away some of the ships, but they haven't turned away all the ships. So, like, China has gotten some ships through and things like that, but they also have said, like, hey, we stopped, like, I think 4 to, 10 ships over the past, I think, day or so. That being said, none of this is actually helping the situation at all. Oil is still going up. So, yay, awesome. And then in terms of the whole Trump administration versus the Vatican, that is, I guess, becoming more ensconced, more entrenched. J.D. Vance kind of tried to play it off like, oh, Donald Trump was just joking. He's just being a little jokey guy. And then he kind of came back with a follow-up saying like, man, the Pope needs to mind his fucking business. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing there. But essentially just doubling down because he's a man with no spine. Even though, he's like a freshy little Catholic. Like, you know what I mean? He's supposed to be like a reconvert, new convert, whatever. But, his only loyalty is to Daddy Trump. And, I mean, I get it. That's who's buttering his bread. So, what are you going to do? What can you do? Anyway, let's go ahead and do our startup. And then, we're going to take things to China. And I mean that in a Trumpy accent way. Sometimes I slip into it and I realize like, wait, I don't want that to come off as bad taste, Also, there's been more updates on the Eric Stilwell situation. Oh, those allegations are looking rough, looking bad. Definitely glad that this guy is out of office. Should have definitely happened sooner. Anyway, Congress. I mean, sorry, not office. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, fuck him. From the BBC, founder of China's Evergrande pleads guilty to fraud. Huai Kanyan, the founder of embattled Chinese property developer Evergrande, has pleaded guilty to a number of charges, including embezzlement of assets and corporate bribery, according to a statement issued by the court. Hui expressed remorse during the public hearing on the 13th and 14th of April in the city of Shenzhen, according to Chinese state media. The court said it will announce its verdict on the case at a later date. His guilty plea marks a pivotal moment in the fallout from Evergrande's collapse, which has shaken China's property sector and left investors and domestic banks reeling. Evergrande was once China's biggest real estate firm, with a stock market valuation of more than $50 billion, but collapsed into a debt-driven crisis in 2021 that has unraveled its business. The court heard that the company had taken millions of dollars in pre-sale funding from potential house buyers that were not used for construction. Instead, the funds were diverted to new projects, which resulted in hundreds of unfinished properties across China. Which this was just bad business. You had a surefire thing here. Everyone fucking needs real estate. And instead of saying, hey, let's just keep making sound, strong investments, you say, no, we want to be the biggest. We want to be the baddest. And we don't care how. We want more profit, more profit. And so you just made this thing that you felt was going to be a surefire thing. And the next thing you know, things are looking shaky now, and actually people are looking at what could potentially happening. We realize, we are all in on this bubble in China. This is no good. The policies change. Well, now that's forcing the bubble to fucking pop. Now things are a fucking big problem. And you got pictures of you on your yacht, like you're fucking Jeffrey Bezos. In China, that's just not how it fucking works. It's just not how it's supposed to go down. You're really pushing the limits of this whole hybridized, economic situation that they're working on here, that they're playing around with here. And he played the game and he got fucking busted. And I would agree that this is, a type of negligence at a criminal level for running your business. Like, you knew that this was something that was going to be potentially a hot, problem. And you said, no, we got it. We're going to be fine. Everyone needs a house. Everyone needs a place. We all need to have this shit. So we're going to keep doing fine. We're going to keep growing. And it just didn't work out like that. But anyway, let's keep reading. Hui, also known as Hui Jian, I'm sure I'm fucking that up, rose from humble beginnings in rural China, where he was raised by his grandmother before venturing into property development and setting up Evergrande in 1996. There's my burp. Evergrande's downfall has often been cited as a trigger for China's persistent property market slump, which spiraled downwards in 2021 and has weighed heavily on the country's economic development. At the time of its collapse, Evergrande had around 1,300 projects in the works across 280 cities in China. Evergrande became known as the world's most indebted property developer after much of its empire was built on $300 billion of borrowed money. But its business was dealt a blow when Beijing introduced new rules in 2020 to control property debt in the country, leading Evergrande to sell its properties at big discounts to ensure that money was coming in. So, and it was all downhill from there. There's a few more details in the story, and I imagine we will come back with any kind of sentencing and stuff like that. But, my 2 cents, yay, good. I wish that was the kind of shit that was happening here in America. Instead we got Jeffrey Bezos my big old yacht, I can't even move it across this whole, waterway. Move your bridge. Because he just gets to keep making money and money and money and money. And no one's going to fucking stop him or Elon Musk or any of these motherfuckers. We would glaze them to our own detriment just to make sure their pockets are filled a little bit more. Because maybe we get a taste. Maybe a little fucking cut. And that runs all the way up to the fucking top. Donald Trump would do it. You know what I mean? That's the one thing he's fucking stopping fucking traffic for, okay? So, I love that for us. I love life. Anyway, I do love my life. Yeah, things are crazy right now. Life is wild. My mouth hurts, but I fucking do love my life. I love my life. Anyway, let's move on to our next story. From NBC News. 2 dead in U.S. military strike on alleged drug boat in Eastern Pacific. 2 people were killed in the latest U.S. military strike on a boat in Eastern Pacific said to be involved in drug smuggling, U.S. Southern Command said Monday. The strike, directed by Marine General Francis Donovan, took out a vessel that Southern Command said was operated by a U.S. designated terrorist group involved in bringing illicit drugs to the U.S. A more precise location for the strike was not provided. The command characterized the deceased in a statement only as male narco-terrorists. This is a story we've heard before. Sadly, it's just become a tried and true line to say, hey, we were just blowing up some narco-terrorists, and you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, we filmed it. Yeah, we made a whole little spectacle of it, and that's all you need to know about. Okay, moving on. We'll let you know when we do it again. And by the way, this is saving America. So, don't worry about it. Don't worry. This is like a unethical, potentially war crimey, atrocity thing. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah. President Donald Trump's administration has carried out 50 such strikes in his second term, according to an NBC News tally. They have taken out 51 vessels and killed 170 people, often described by military officials as combatants and narco-terrorists. So there you go. The number continues to rise, unfortunately. But yeah, this next story, I'm going to take a little water break for it, and we are going to have to do a bit of a read-along, so let's, get your glasses on, hold on to your butts. And it's a sad one. And we're actually going back to my birthplace for it, which is also doesn't make you feel any better about it. To know that law enforcement is just, they're never going to stop doing the shit that they do. And this is just one of those examples of it. But anyway, let me hydrate. Excuse me. From CBS News. Body cam video shows St. Louis police officer shooting teen in back of head. Body camera video released Monday shows a St. Louis police officer fatally shooting a 17-year-old in the back of the head as he fled, contradicting an earlier police statement that the teen pointed a gun at officers. We're going to get to the gun, by the way, because yes, there is a gun, but we should really put a fucking asterisk by it. But they don't bother to do that. We recognize that the use of deadly force is difficult for everyone involved and for the community, said St. Louis Police Department spokesperson Mitch McCoy in a statement acknowledging the new video. We are committed to being as transparent as possible, even in dynamic and rapidly evolving situations, like us executing a person. I'm obviously, I added the last part. They were just thinking that. They fought that video issue for over a year. Watkins told, I think I skipped my bad. Al Watkins, an attorney for the family of Emerson Wilkins, obtained the video as part of the discovery process in a federal lawsuit against the police department. Watkins said his office tried and failed to get the video through a records request. They fought that video issue for over a year, Watkins told the Associated Press. We had to file a federal lawsuit to get it. That's not transparent. That's not integrity. Indeed, it's irresponsible. You guys were trying to hide this shit. And the reason is because it's showing you shooting a kid in the back of the fucking head as he's running away from you. And you know how the fucking community is going to react to that, especially given the fucking history of law enforcement. They fought that. My bad. In a statement, Watkins said residents of St. Louis and broader Missouri, as well as Wilkins' family members, deserve better than this. The nation is watching indeed. The world is looking at St. Louis. It is a vulnerable time in the U.S., one which requires adults in the room to act responsibly and without delay or gamesmanship, Watkins said. We're going to skip forward ahead here. Let's see here. Wilkins was shot and killed in June of 2024, just 2 weeks after he turned 17. He had no prior criminal history, Watkins said. Wilkins was black. Police said it all started when detectives attempted to stop an SUV that was reported stolen. Police said there was a brief pursuit. Watkins described it as a slow-speed chase. He said the SUV was only going around 10 miles per hour. The pursuit ended with Wilkins fleeing the vehicle on foot, with 2 officers in pursuit. One officer had a taser, another a firearm, the suit says. The video shows the officer armed with a gun yelling at a teen to get on the ground as he raises the firearm. The officer can be heard telling the teen to drop a gun. The teen keeps running, and then the officer fires. One of the 4 bullets struck the teen in the back of the head, killing him, the suit says. In the teen's pocket was a firearm, but it was disassembled in multiple pieces and incapable of being fired, the suit said. So what I'm imagining here is either it was already like that in that condition, so from jump it couldn't have been possible for him to actually fire and kill anyone, or he was on some fucking Metal Gear Snake Eater shit, disassembles his shit on the fucking run, and then just in time to get done in the back of the head by a fucking cop. To me, that's the only kind of narratives that I have that equal this so far that I know. Let's see, or at least that I could gather. Let's see here. The video didn't show the teen holding the firearm in his hand or pointing it at the officer. There was no threat to the public, and you look at the video, and there are no furtive movements, Watkins said. Police acknowledged Monday, following the release of the video, that information provided by a third party to investigators in the immediate aftermath of the incident was not consistent with the actual events or what was initially shared with the community. That's a fun way to say you're trying to fucking lie. The department said it has updated its internal protocols since the shooting to better position St. Louis police to provide accurate and timely information. Excuse me. Now a member of the department's body-worn camera unit responds directly to the scene so that investigating commanders can review footage before receiving detailed accounts from the public. Dude, I love this loop that we are just in now as an American society where cops do some really fucked up shit, just a fucking execution, just a fucking brutal beating of a person, whatever. We blackside and we do whatever. Insert here. We've talked about a lot of this fucking shit. And we say, what are we going to do? Well, we're not really trying to go to trial. We're trying to fight that shit tooth and nail. We don't want more Derek Chauvins for real. Whether they're guilty or not, whatever. We just don't want that. We don't even want to talk about it like that. But what we'll promise you, dear community, training. So much training. Okay? The training that we gave them, that was damn near military grade level shit. Gave them all this fucking firearms and resources to do it. We just need to make them, hone them better. And then this won't happen. And then if we just get more eyes in the situation, more camera footage, this won't happen. These motherfuckers do not care about a camera. They will either turn it off, oopsie, or they'll fucking still do it and get away with it. What difference does it make? What difference does this body camera training bullshit make? It never makes a goddamn change. It is a fig leaf. It is a fucking mint on the fuck shit that they're just feeding you. It's very frustrating. They talk about 2014. This is a story that took place before my time in terms of podcasting, but I do remember it. Just with Michael Brown dying, 18 years old, in the suburb of Ferguson. That was definitely, I've mentioned it before on the pod. You know, it was one of those moments where, like, I remember being here in Ohio and then hearing about that story and, like, just being reminded, like, you can't look away from this shit, man. That person could have been you. And, you know, I always try to keep that in my mind, even as I get older, because I just, I don't know. I don't want to get in the weeds about this. I already feel myself getting fucking emotional or upset. But, you know, it just sucks that this cycle continues. Yes, it's from a place where, you know, I was born, so there's a little bit of that kind of tie there. And but we just cover this shit year after year, time after fucking time. You know, we're at war killing fucking brown people, and we fucking do this shit in our own backyards. How else do you want me to word that, by the way? Like, I don't know. So, yeah. I don't know, there's a little bit more we could read, but I feel good about it. I feel good about leaving it there for right now. Oh, by the way, this fucking cop, he's on desk duty, paid fucking desk duty, by the way. 007. Just fucking be a desk jockey for a bit, bro. Let's ride this fucking shit out. While they stall on the fucking video because they know what's gonna fucking happen. But we'll see. I really hope that we at least get some kind of fucking trial, something out of this shit. Some kind of fucking accountability, but I doubt it. I never have much faith. What can I say? I know my country. Anywho, we have one more story, and it's good news. It's at least good news for a guy. It's a good news for a local guy in good old Ohio. We're taking it to, you know, where I live. My current, is it stomping grounds if you've pretty much lived here all your life, right? I don't know. Or is that only birthplace? I'm a little dumb. Whatever. Well, let's take our last break, and then let's close it out. I want a little bit of a better note. All right. Our last story comes from Akron. Lord forgive me. Akron Beacon Journal. Akron Beacon Journal. The old ABJ, as I've been saying that. No. Let's talk. No, fuck me. This is we're cooked. We're cooked, chat. Akron man wins lottery twice in one day for $250,000. Okay. Talk about a lucky and life-changing day. The Ohio Lottery says an Akron man beat the odds not once but twice in the same day. Lottery officials say the Akron resident, whose name was not released, placed a 50-cent straight bet on a recent Pick 3 drawing and won $250. Okay, hell yeah, that's a good start to your day. I mean, that's making my month for fucking sure. Feeling lucky and a bit richer, lottery officials say he later stopped at a Giant Eagle on West Avenue in Talamage on the same day to try the $30 wild card tripler scratch-off game. Lottery officials say he was stunned when he won one of the big prizes and even asked the cashier to check the ticket because he couldn't count all the zeros. That added up to a $300,000 win. After mandatory state and federal taxes, the ticket is worth $219 or $219,750. I can't really read all the zeros either, my friend, so that's okay. But hell yeah, that's a cool come up in the same fucking day. You know what though? I'm so fucking jaded. I'm so fucking cooked because, like, I don't know. My big number is $1 million. You need to get at least over $1 million. Otherwise, what are we talking about here? Especially with like inflation, the times that we're living in, I feel like $219,000 is not that much. Like, it's a great amount. It's a life-changing amount for sure, but that's not like, oh, we're set for life. Like, now you still got to make some moves with that money for sure if you're going to keep flipping it and moving it, right? Like, I don't know. But obviously, super good, feel good, I guess, moment for this person, even though, God, doesn't it suck that, like, the only way that we kind of make these come-ups are getting lucky at a lottery or getting on some game show and like fighting for your life for Mr. Beast. Like that doesn't feel good. Oh, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go to college and then get replaced by some AI coder or some dumb shit, man. Like what? I don't know, man. It just feels really rough right now. It feels really rough these days. But maybe it's been tough all over this whole time. I'd be touching on that subject, but not today. Not tonight. That's it. So hopefully we all get lucky tomorrow. But anyway, let's close out. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today for like the price of a coffee, which you really can say now. Once again, thank you, inflation. Thank you, Donald Trump. And you know what? Fine. Thank you, Joe Byron. Thank you for making this all a thing so I can say, hey, for less than the cup of a price of a coffee, depending on your establishment, you can help out the effort. It's like a little tip jar, and I shout you out at the top of the month. Plug a project if you like. It's totally a thing. It's pretty cool. You can try it out. Maybe you'll do it for life. Crazy. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen. Leave a like. Leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. 5 stars on Spotify. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Wherever you can leave a cool review like that, leave it for me. All of the stars, baby. But if you don't, that's okay. I really just appreciate you listening to me yap and moan about my life every day. Or at least almost every day. Ooh, excuse me. Now I'm burping. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.